Hello? Is this thing on? I hope so, because this tech is so weird. Anyway. Hello. I am Azula Nightingale from the planet Earth. And a lot of things have happened in just a day. So I'm going to start from the beginning. I went to the garrison, and everything was fine there. No, wait, bad start. I don't know who I'm gonna send this to, so I should explain some things first. As you know, I've said before, I'm from Earth, and because of that, I don't know what's happening. Because right now, we're in space. Me and a few others from the Galaxy Garrison. I know 3 of them, and the other 2 I thought were lost. I'm here with Lance McLean, Pige Gunderson, which I don't believe is their real name, but it's the one they're going by now. There's a Hunk, and I don't think I've ever been told his real name, so I'll have to figure that out later. And then we have Keith Kogang and Shiro. I don't know his last name, but he's one of the people who went missing in the ship crash 2 years ago. He, one day, well, earlier today, I guess it is, he crash landed in a completely different ship right in front of the garrison. Me, Lance, Hunk, and Pidge were on top of the roof because Pidge created something to be able to reach the stars, and I was there to make sure they didn't do something stupid, mainly. And then the ship came and crashed down, and I knew what was going on, because it's an alien ship. Something had to be wrong, and I wasn't stupid. I guessed it might have been something with the 3 who were stranded, but anyway, sorry. So I wanted to go check it out by myself, but before I could say anything, Keith and Lance were already, or no, not Keith, Lance and Pidge were already heading straight to the ship. Pidge thinking the same lines as me. And so I followed them, Hunk following behind because he doesn't want to be left behind, and he's not going to leave his friends alone. So we get closer. Pidge hacks into the ship's mainframe, I guess you could say, to get the cameras and shit working, and it works. We see Shiro getting strapped to a table while the garrison tries to drug him, getting him to be quiet. And so we weren't gonna stand for that. So we're planning to break into the ship and rescue Shiro. But then, before we could do anything, Keith Kogan showed up after making an explosion happen, so it draws the garrison away. Lance ran ahead because they have a grudge against each other, I guess. And so we all ran in to save Shiro. We got some information from the pods, but it's not much. And then we sped away on a speeder. After that, we kind of stayed in this rundown house that was a part of, or not a part of, but in the middle of nowhere. And we had a conversation. Keith thought, well, not thought, but he theorized that somebody was coming to Earth yesterday, and that's how he kind of found out it was Shiro, not thinking it was Shiro at first. And then we figured out that they're after something called Voltron. It's a spaceship, I guess. I don't fully know how to explain it because I'm not on that part of, it's not my, I guess, field. Anyway, so we went to go try and find it because apparently it was on Earth, or a part of it was. And so we went into the mountains where the clues Keith swore up and down he had gathered led us, and we walked into the caves, and there was weird, I guess you could say, caveman drawings of lions, a mechanical lion. And then Lance touched the wall and it caved in, and we saw a mechanical lion. It was huge. I don't know, it's like half the size of the garrison. And when Lance opened the barrier that was surrounding it, it's like we could see it was projecting images into our heads of 5 lions forming Voltron, a big robot thing. Again, not my expertise. I'm still trying to figure out this random tech. But we got into the lion because what else are you going to do? Lost in the middle of the desert. And I wasn't going to leave Lance alone because, well, he walked into there without hesitation. And then we flew up. It's weird flying in the lion. There was a cockpit, and there was a storage area. All of us were jammed into the cockpit because it was weird. We didn't know what was going on. And then Lance said he talked to the lion, which I think is utterly insane, but if the lion's talking to him, what am I gonna say? And then we had to go stop a ship from coming to Earth. We lured it away and destroyed its cannon. But then we got sucked into a wormhole because the lion was trying to lead us somewhere, I guess. And we ended up hundreds of miles away from Earth. Well, light years, I guess. Thousands of light years might be more accurate. And when we got through the wormhole, we ended up on a planet. It looks like Earth, but it's different. The sky is different. The sunset is different. The sea and the plants, it's all so weird. but we were led by the big giant lion. Blue, by the way. It's a blue lion. They all have colors. So we kind of let it guide us, and it led us to a different place, and there was a castle. Huge castle, bigger than the lion. Way bigger. And so we entered, because what else are we gonna do? So we entered and tried to find any life, but nobody was there in the halls, and it was a huge castle. It looked clean and pristine, which was weird because it looked abandoned. Until we entered, I guess, the main control area, where there were two people seeming to be in, like, a frozen sleep, which proves people's theories about being able to stay alive while flash freezing them. But a girl came out. I'm guessing she was a different species, different alien, because she has long ears, dark skin, long silvery hair. She was beautiful. She is beautiful. But I'm not telling her that. She's scary too. But her and she came out and immediately started questioning us because, well, she was asleep for 10,000 years. 10,000 years. She was asleep, meaning that life has been bustling in the solar system before we even knew aliens could have existed. So she awoke, and so did someone else named Corin. He is like her advisor, I guess. He's more like a grandfather. He's old, dark-skinned as well, and a redhead. He's a redhead, but it's more orange than red, which is hilarious. And apparently he was the advisor to the king of the castle we are in right now. And the girl, who's about my age, probably a little older, she's a princess. And her whole reason she was in cryo sleep, as they call it, was because her father put her in there before sending the castle off, as their planet was destroyed. Because, as we learned from both Shiro and the princess, there's a tyrant trying to take over the known galaxy named Zarkon. He has about half of it and is looking for the other half. Or not looking, but trying to take over the other half. And Voltron is the only thing that can stop it. And the princess said she has a connection with the lions, and she can find them, so we can go retrieve them and form Voltron. And as most people can probably guess, that didn't really go well with mainly Pige and Keith, because both of them are like confused. I was confused too, but I wasn't picked to go find a lion because, well, there was only 5 lions and there's 6 of us. well, 8 if you count Chiron and the princess, but out of the ones who can pilot the lion, there was 6. And so Pidge got the green one because Pidge is smart and that makes sense. Keith got the red one because the red one has a temper. 100% makes sense as well. Lance has the blue one, the one we found, and Hunk, he gets the yellow one. It's perfect for him, I guess. And then Shiro is gonna get the black one, the leader. Shiro tried to protest, but all of us kind of threw that out the window. He's the best leader we will have. So they went off to find the lions. Lance went with Hunk, and Keith and Shiro went to go find the green one, because apparently the red lion couldn't be tracked for some reason, and then the black lion is already inside the castle, just hidden away until somebody, gets all the lions together, keeping it safe. And so, they go and find them. I was stuck on the castle, so I don't fully know what happened out there, but I talked to Chiron a bit and learned about their people. Alteans, they called themselves. Like we call ourselves earthlings or humans. So that was nice, and then they came back with all 4 lions. But it was short-lived, I guess, because there was a ship coming towards us, and it came a lot quicker than we expected. And apparently the red lion was on there, so I guess it was positive. And so they had to think of a plan to get on the ship and get the red lion. I hated the idea, so I went with them. They got some new armor, and I noinked some old armor as well, because I was not going to be left behind this time. And so when we went on the green lion, because the green lion can cloak itself, and Lance and Hunk made a distraction. We went in, and halfway through the mission, Shiro remembered his time being captured by Zarkon, because that's where they were. Garrison lied to everybody. But so Pidge wanted to go find the other captives, to try and find the other 2 survivors of the Kerberos mission. And Shiro went with them. I went with Keith. We split up, because I wasn't going to leave Keith alone. So I followed him. And apparently the lions are semi-sentient, if not fully sentient, which is so for real. I didn't even believe it at first, but I don't know. So I followed Keith because of his connection to the red lion. And when we got there, it was in a hangar bay, and Keith tried to get the red lion to cooperate, but I remembered Laura's warning about it being temperamental. My guess is it's like that because it's hard to trust. which is 100% understandable, especially after what happened to it getting captured by the Galra and having to protect itself. So it's understandable, but it didn't want to open up to Keith. It was just watching him, and then the Galra started to attack us, so we had to fight them, and get away quickly. But it didn't go as planned, I guess. The Galra opened up the hangar bay door, opening it up into space, which was terrifying. So we got sucked out into space. Everything in the hangar did, so the lion as well, which was lucky, I guess. And that's kind of when the lion realized that we were on its side, not just some random people trying to gather it for something or other. And so it rescued us. Keith got to finally understand what the others were talking about. I'm still confused about it, because they say there's a connection to it. I don't know. But, so we kind of got all 4 lions we needed, and we went back down into the ship, or castle, after destroying the Galra ship Canon, I guess you could call it. It's like a laser beam that can destroy a lot. But, so we went back to the castle. I got dropped off because I'm not going to be in the lion when it starts going full Voltron mode. And so I watched as they tried and failed to create Voltron until they almost got captured and formed it. And all because Shiro kind of gave them a pep talk. I'm saying it's the pep talk. No one else wants to say it, but I am. It was the pep talk. Him being the leader is 100% a good idea. He still refuses to accept it, but it's his appointment now, and he has to take it. Anyway, so they created Voltron and destroyed the ship, which I am so happy about. So that's pretty much it, I believe. Nothing else really has happened except for, well, that. And afterwards, we kind of got checked over by Chiron. Anyway, sorry, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but we got checked over by him, and so did the prisoners that Pige and Shiro saved. They have to stay in the healing tubes, I think Chiron called them, until tomorrow, I believe, because of all the injuries, small injuries, but still injuries they had. So we can't really ask them anything. I have some questions for them, and I think Pidge does too. I don't know why, but I believe it's because of the other 2 people who were on the mission with Shiro. Anyway, I think that's all I have to report. I need to get some sleep after I kind of stayed up for a long time. It's dark out on this planet. I don't know the time zones and don't know how different they are, but yeah, I'll explain more next time, but I think I'm drained today. signing off is, it's great to finally put something down just in case something happens. People have a general idea of what happened. Don't believe the garrison. They're just telling you lies. And if you can, whoever gets this on Earth, start preparing for war, because it's coming to our planet a lot sooner than people would think and others would hope. Zula, signing off.